My best friend from childhood called me. He was crying. And I hadn't heard Jack cry like that since he was 7, when some bully hit him from behind. Jack was the nicest guy in the world and didn't deserve that. I'm not that nice. That was the last time that bully ever hit anyone. The rest of us beat him half to death. While I was trying to get Jack to say something coherent, I motioned to my wife that we needed to leave. Finally, Jack was able to say that his wife, Jessie, had gone on a date with another man. I told him we'd be there in 10 minutes. Jessie and my wife Diana were sisters. We were very close. Diana asked what had happened as we were leaving the garage. Jack called. He was crying. He said Jessie went on a date with another man. I'm going to rip my sister's breasts off. Poor Jack, he never cries. Do you know where my sister went? Jack said she went to Alfonso's. Diana immediately called her parents and told them everything, then called her brother David and his wife. I heard her repeat twice, Jack never cries. The 7 of us met in front of Alfonso's bar, and my mother-in-law led the procession into the bar. The guys stayed behind. I didn't want to get caught between these women and trouble. We found Jessie on the dance floor with some guy. Jessie's mother told the guy to take his hands off her daughter and pushed him away. The guy looked like he was about to challenge her, but 4 guys from our small group stepped between him and Jessie. My mother-in-law grabbed Jessie by the ear and pulled her off the dance floor, shouting, "I can't believe I raised such a slut!" Jessie finally broke free and we stood at the bar. The women were yelling at each other, mostly calling Jessie names. No one could understand what was going on, but the bouncer ignored it and asked us all to leave. We went outside, and the argument continued. At one point, Jessie said she just wanted to have a little fun. Her mother hit her so hard in the face that she spat. You want to have fun? Are you 12 years old? Are you married or have you forgotten? Then Jack spoke for the first time since the phone call. These arguments are pointless. Jessie broke our vows and broke my heart the moment she left the house like that to be with another man. Her intentions are clear, and there's no fixing this. The only way out is divorce. I'm hiring a lawyer on Monday. Don't come home, Jessie. My father-in-law said, "First thing in the morning, I'll call my lawyer and ask him to call you." You're going to help him divorce your daughter, Jessie screamed. Her father grabbed the lapel of his shirt and tore it in 2. You're not my daughter, he said. I'm not very familiar with Jewish traditions, but Diane explained that tearing clothing in this way is a sign of rejection, almost like death. The torn shirt caught Jessie's attention, and she began begging him to forgive her, but he turned away from her. The others followed his example, leaving Jessie on her knees, crying and repeating that she just wanted to have some fun. Diane pulled me by the arm. She's my sister. I can't just leave her here. What about her lover? I asked. He's gone, Jack replied. Here's his license plate number. Jack knew what I was going to do. Diane decided that I would take Jack home and stay with him. Her brother would take Jessie and Diane to our place. I'll give her a week and then I want that girl out of my house, she said. Judging by the look on her face, I couldn't disagree. Jack and I went back to his place, and I poured us each a glass of scotch. When the storm hits, it's good to know you have friends, he said. I have the name and address of Jack's lover. Do you want to know, or should I take care of it myself? Jack smiled and said, Go ahead, but send me a photo when you're done. Leave part of his face recognizable so Jessie can see what she did. We clinked glasses and leaned back in our chairs. A few minutes later, I took Jack's half-empty glass from his dozing hand. Jessie didn't last a week. She told Diane that since Jack was divorcing her, she could have fun however she wanted. Diane grabbed her by the hair, dragged her out of the house, and threw her on the lawn in front of the house, followed by Jessie's clothes. She ended up with one of her co-workers, probably the poisonous bitch who told her she had the right to have fun. Jessie dragged out the divorce. Suddenly, Jack became more important to her than having fun. You should know Jack. He was a kind man, the best friend anyone could ask for. But if you crossed him, you were done, and Jessie was doomed. All Jesse managed to do was rack up a bunch of lawyer bills. Our father-in-law refused to pay Jack's legal fees and eventually told Jesse to stop until her legal bills bankrupted her. Diane tried to contact her from time to time. They were very close, and I knew that the separation was probably causing Diane as much pain as it was causing Jesse. Diane found out that Jesse's lover worked with her, and when his decomposing body was found, she had a nervous breakdown. Jessie had to quit her job, and according to Diane, she now works at a local soup kitchen. We rarely saw her. She was never invited to family events. I saw her a couple of years later when David and his wife had their first child baptized. She wasn't invited, but she wasn't turned away from the church. I couldn't get a good look at her. Diane and David's wife gave Jack 6 months to get his act together, although sulking would be a more accurate description, but I would have done the same. After 6 months, they started introducing him to single women. One of the things I loved about Jack was his smile when you talked to him. It always made you feel important. But he had an even deeper smile, and when you saw that smile, you weren't just important, you were everything to him. I often saw Jesse smile that way. Almost a year after that night in Alfonso, Jack smiled at one of Diane's friends. I hugged Diane as we watched Jack smile at this woman. David and my father and mother-in-law joined us. We wondered if this woman understood what was happening. Jack noticed us looking at him and winked at us.